Stop using ChatGPT like it's a glorified Google search. Seriously. If you are typing in, "How do I write a blog post?" or "Give me a marketing idea," you are driving a Ferrari in first gear. You are literally leaving 90% of the model's intelligence on the table. The difference between the top 1% of AI users and everyone else isn't the model they use. It's not GPT-4 versus Claude versus Gemini. It is the syntax of how they ask. Today, I'm not just giving you tips. I am giving you the exact source code. The 6 specific prompts that force the AI to stop hallucinating and start reasoning like a domain expert with 20 years of experience. We are going to turn generic fluff into elite strategy, and you need to stay until the very end. Because prompt number 7? It's not actually a prompt. It's a meta framework that combines everything we're about to cover into a single logic bomb that breaks the model's constraints. It is the closest thing to AGI you can get right now. Let's unlock the brain. Here is the roadmap to your upgrade. Let's start with the foundational mistake everyone makes. The problem: when you ask a standard question, ChatGPT defaults to the average of the internet. It gives you the median answer: safe, vanilla, and utterly unhelpful for high-level execution. If you ask for business advice, it gives you advice suitable for a high school lemonade stand, not a Series A startup. You need to force domain expert-level thinking. Large language models work on probability. By assigning a specific, elite persona, you shift the probability distribution of the words it chooses. You move from generic assistant to industry veteran. Let's apply this. Instead of saying, "How do I grow my business?" and you input, "Act as a top 1% startup growth strategist. Help me design a 90-day plan to grow a B2B SaaS from $0 to the first 100 paying users." Look at the difference. It's not telling you to post on social media. It's talking about lead magnets, cold outreach cadences, and conversion rate optimization. It's speaking the language of a strategist because you told it to be one. Here is the hack within the hack. Don't just assign a role. Assign a company or a specific thinker. If you say, "Act as a senior product manager at Apple," the output will immediately prioritize design aesthetics and user privacy. If you say, "Act as a growth hacker at Uber circa 2012, it will prioritize aggressive guerrilla tactics. Context is king. Now that we have the expert, we need to make sure they aren't lying to us. The problem: AI models are people pleasers. They want to give you an answer fast, even if that answer is logically flawed or shallow. They skip the middle steps of thinking to get to the result. This is dangerous for complex problem solving or business strategy. The AI solution: chain of thought, COT. We use a technique called chain of thought prompting. This forces the model to show its work. When the AI has to explain its logic step by step, its accuracy skyrockets because it effectively double-checks itself before generating the final conclusion. Let's say you are deciding whether to pivot your business or stay the course. Do not just ask, "Should I pivot?" Input this: "I am considering pivoting my e-commerce brand to a subscription model." Break this down step by step. Explain your reasoning clearly. Show assumptions regarding cash flow, risks regarding customer churn, and alternative approaches. See that? It's identifying the risks. It's calling out the assumptions you might have missed about cash flow. It's treating the problem like a math equation, not a creative writing assignment. Ask it to assign confidence scores. Tell the AI, for each step of your reasoning, assign a probability of failure. This forces the AI to highlight the weak links in its own plan. It's a game changer for risk management. Hold on. Stop. I know what you're thinking. These prompts are cool, but I already have content written. I just need to fix it. Don't click away, because the next prompt is the single biggest time saver for anyone who writes emails, code, or sales copy. This is how you turn a C-grade draft into an A+ asset in 10 seconds. The Improve This 10x prompt. We all write bad first drafts. It's human nature, but editing is painful. The problem: usually when you ask ChatGPT to edit this, it just fixes grammar or swaps a few synonyms. It doesn't actually upgrade the quality or the persuasion of the text. It polishes a turd. The AI solution: the optimization loop. We need to force an optimization loop. We are going to use a prompt that demands a structural rewrite based on specific psychological triggers. Step-by-step use case. Paste your mediocre cold email, your resume summary, or a LinkedIn post into the chat. Then hit it with this. Improve this by 10x. Make it clearer, more persuasive, and more strategic. Rewrite it with stronger structure and better reasoning. Let's look at a cold sales email. Original. Hi, I'd like to sell you my services. The 10x result. It adds a hook. It focuses on the prospect's pain points. It adds a clear call to action. It changes the tone from begging to offering value. The secret pro tip: add a constraint to the 10x prompt. Optimize for specific emotion. Tell it, improve this by 10x and optimize for urgency. Or optimize for trust. This directs the tonal shift exactly where you need it for your specific audience. The first principles prompt: if you want to sound like everyone else, skip this section. If you want to innovate, listen up. The problem: AI is trained on the internet, and 99% of the internet is recycled derivative noise. If you ask for an explanation of a complex topic, you usually get the same analogies everyone else uses. You get the conventional wisdom. The AI solution: fundamental truths. First principles thinking is how Elon Musk builds rockets. It's boiling things down to the fundamental physics and building up from there, ignoring what everyone else does. We can force ChatGPT to simulate this mental model. Step-by-step use case. Use this for learning new skills or analysing business models. Try this. Explain the value of Bitcoin from first principles. Ignore the hype. Instead of hearing about digital gold and price speculation, the AI will break it down to 1. The problem of trust in ledgers. 2. The solution of decentralized verification. 3. The scarcity mechanism. It strips away the fluff. The secret pro tip: use this for learning acceleration. Ask, teach me the first principles of Python programming. What are the 3 core concepts that make everything else work? It will cut through the syntax tutorials and teach you about logic, variables, and loops, the actual building blocks. This cuts learning time in half. The elite feedback prompt. Here is the harsh truth: ChatGPT is programmed to be nice to you. It is a sycophant. The problem: if you ask, is this good? It will say, yes, this is great, good job. That is useless. You don't need a cheerleader, you need a coach. You need to simulate a harsh critic. The AI solution: the antagonistic persona. We have to override the safety alignment that prioritizes politeness. We need to explicitly request brutal honesty. Step-by-step use case. Before you send that proposal or publish that video, use this. Be brutally honest. What's weak about this? What would a top 1% performer improve? Don't sugarcoat it. Paste your business idea. ChatGPT response: your idea lacks a moat. The barrier to entry is too low. A competitor with more capital could crush this in 3 months. Your revenue projections are unrealistic based on current CAC. That hurts, but that feedback saves you 6 months of failure. It points out the blind spots you fell in love with. The secret pro tip: ask it to simulate a specific customer persona. Critique this from the perspective of a skeptical CFO who hates spending money. If you are selling B2B, tell it. Critique this landing page from the perspective of a busy CFO who hates spending money. It will tear your copy apart based on ROI and budget objections. That is gold. We've covered analysis, rewriting, and critique. But what happens when you have too much information? What happens when you are paralyzed by choice? Option A, option B, option C. The next prompt is the cure for analysis paralysis. It turns chaos into clarity instantly. The comparison matrix prompt. The problem: when you ask ChatGPT to compare things, it usually writes 5 paragraphs of text. Option A is good because X, but option B has Y. It's a wall of text. It's hard to scan, hard to digest, and hard to make a decision from. The AI solution: structured decision matrix. The LLM can render markdown tables. We are going to force it to visualize the data so our brains can process it. Step-by-step use case. Whether you are choosing a software stack, a career path, or an investment strategy. Compare option A versus option B versus option C. Use a decision matrix with criteria, pros, cons, risks, and best use cases. Give a final recommendation based on different scenarios. Example: compare Shopify versus WooCommerce versus custom code for a fashion brand. Use a decision matrix. Look at that. Instantly you can see the trade-offs. You see that Shopify wins on speed but loses on customization fees. You see WooCommerce wins on ownership but loses on maintenance. The secret pro tip: ask for a weighted scoring model. Add a column for score out of 10 based on a small team with limited budget. Tell it, score each option out of 10 based on the needs of a solopreneur with no coding skills. It will do the math for you and rank them. I told you to wait for this. Everything we just discussed is powerful. But what if you could combine the domain expertise, the deep reasoning, the structure, and the action plan into one single super prompt? This is the meta prompt. The ultimate reveal. This prompt triggers a sequence. It stops the AI from hallucinating by forcing it to ask you questions first. It builds the context, then executes the strategy. Here is the syntax. Copy this. Ask me clarifying questions first. This prevents assumptions. Then give a structured step-by-step answer. This ensures logic. Include frameworks, risks, trade-offs, and real examples. This ensures depth. Finish with an actionable plan. This ensures ROI. Let's look at it in action. User, help me launch a podcast. ChatGPT meta mode. Okay, before I give you a plan, I need to know. 1. What is your goal? Leads or sponsorship? 2. What is your budget? 3. Who is your target audience? Once you answer those, the output you get isn't a generic how-to. It is a custom-tailored execution roadmap specifically for your budget and your goals. It predicts the risks you will face in week 4. It gives you the framework for your first 10 episodes. This is the God mode of prompting. It turns a chatbot into a consultant. You now have the toolkit. Here is my challenge to you. Pick one of these prompts, just one, and use it on your very next task. Do not settle for the default response ever again. The gap between you and the people taking your market share is speed and strategy. These prompts give you both. Don't forget to like and subscribe our channel and go execute. I'll see you in the next one.